Millennia ago, deep within Tartarus, the Titans, defeated by Zeus and his brothers during the Titanomachy, a fierce war between gods and Titans, were imprisoned. But King Hyperion, armed with the mythical Epirus Bow, rose to destroy their prison and set them free. However, this scene was only a dream of Phaedra, an oracle living in hiding with 3 other priestesses to protect her identity. Phaedra revealed to her companions that she had seen a vision: Hyperion would use the Epirus Bow to dominate mankind. But what was truly happening in this story? Thus began Immortals. Long ago, before the world was filled with men and beasts, immortal beings lived in the heavens, believing themselves invincible. They soon discovered they could kill one another, unleashing a brutal war in which the Epirus Bow was lost. The victors declared themselves gods, while the defeated, now called Titans, were locked away in the depths of Mount Tartarus. 1,000 years later, humanity thrived, but the evils of the past resurfaced. In the year 1228 AD, Phaedra and her sisters resided in a Sibylline monastery in Greece. Outside, Hyperion arrived with his army of Heracleans. Welcomed by the priests, he was warned that desecrating this place would defy divine law. Hyperion, contemptuous, spat on their sacred water and defied the gods, recounting how he had begged them in vain when his family perished from disease. From that day forward, he had sworn to overthrow the gods by freeing the Titans. When the priests refused to reveal the location of the oracle or the Epirus Bow, Hyperion burned one of them alive. In the Colphos Peninsula, a young man named Theseus gathered wood with an old sage from his village. The old man praised his fighting skills but questioned his motives. Theseus said he fought to protect his loved ones but had no answer when asked if he would do the same for the weak and helpless. Nearby, in a sanctuary, the bodies of the peninsula's dead rested, and Aethra, Theseus's mother, took part in a ritual despite the scorn of others who called her a harlot. She urged her son to give her grandchildren, but Theseus dismissed the gods as mere tales for children. The peace shattered when the village alarms rang. Theseus armed himself and encountered Alios, commander of a small army from the state of Helen, who announced Hyperion's imminent arrival and ordered an evacuation toward Mount Tartarus. A soldier named Lysander spread panic by claiming all resistance was useless but was scolded by his mother. As the villagers set out, Theseus and his mother were stopped by a soldier who barred them from joining the caravan reserved for the upper classes. When the soldier insulted Aethra, Theseus lashed out, fighting 6 soldiers at once. Although he overpowered them, their numbers forced him to retreat, taking Lysander hostage. Alios intervened, diffusing the situation, and promised to escort the peasants the next day. Freed, Lysander demanded Theseus's execution, but Alios silenced him and expelled him from the army. Alios offered Theseus a place in his ranks, but Theseus refused, mistrustful. The old sage chose to stay behind in the peninsula, ready to face death. That night, Lysander betrayed his people, killing the sentries before fleeing. Meanwhile, the sage, who was in fact Zeus in disguise, was visited by Athena, emerging from a statue. Zeus reminded her that they must remain hidden, as divine law forbade them from revealing their immortal forms to mortals. Athena questioned why Zeus spent so much time with Theseus. He explained that he acted as a mortal and saw in Theseus a hero capable of leading mankind against Hyperion. Lysander, now a deserter, reached the Sibylline monastery and requested an audience with Hyperion, waiting with a sword to his throat near a metal ball in flames from which screams of agony echoed. Hyperion agreed to see him. Lysander offered information about Colphos, but Hyperion, obsessed with the Epirus Bow, summoned a Sibylline monk who refused to speak. The monk stole a weapon to end his own life, but Hyperion reminded him that his faith forbade it. The monk then mutilated his tongue to keep his silence. Hyperion accepted Lysander into his army but punished him for cowardice. His face was branded, and his reproductive organs were crushed so a traitor could never sire children. The next morning, Theseus searched for the sage but could not find him. A vision of an eagle, Zeus in disguise, led him to his village, now under attack by the Heracleans. Theseus fought fiercely, killing foes with his spear and their own swords, but was eventually overpowered and captured. Hyperion ordered that he not be killed, preferring him to witness his mother's execution. Lysander, masked but recognizable by his gait, tried to kill Theseus, but Hyperion sent him to work in the salt mines instead. On Olympus, the gods watched. Ars criticized Zeus for not intervening, but Zeus insisted on the rule. They could act only if the Titans were involved, for he believed in humanity. Hermes doubted, but Zeus remained firm, threatening death to any god who broke the laws. In the mines, Theseus, now a slave, carried beams alongside the Sibylline monk and 2 soldiers, Stavros and Dareios. Passing the 4 virgins, including Phaedra, she had a vision upon touching Theseus, he and Hyperion would find the bow together. She warned him that one day, during thunder without clouds, he must stand firm. She confided in Stavros their escape plan for that night. The virgins seduced the guards, allowing Theseus and his companions to flee. Phaedra's 3 companions sacrificed themselves to delay the pursuers. When Hyperion learned of their escape, he tortured the 3 priestesses, each claiming to be the oracle. A guard revealed that only Phaedra had escaped, and Hyperion understood she was the true oracle. The next day, Theseus and his group spotted a Heraclean ship. Stavros suggested fleeing south and insulted Phaedra, but Theseus subdued him and decided to return to the monastery to face Hyperion. Stavros, unwilling to be left behind, followed. They attacked the ship but were quickly overwhelmed. Athena, Ars, and Poseidon watched. Poseidon intervened, diving from Olympus to unleash a tsunami that destroyed the vessel, saving Theseus and his companions, though they were covered in oil. Phaedra explained to Theseus that her vision included his mother's body, which he must bury according to his faith. Hyperion, learning of their destination, sent a beast and soldiers to Colphos. Theseus returned to his village, found his mother's body, and while digging her grave, discovered the Epirus Bow. He was then attacked by a beast, the Minotaur. Wounded, Theseus killed it by breaking its bones and decapitating it. Outside, Dareios warned the group they were surrounded by Heracleans. Stavros surrendered, but Theseus used the bow to slay the enemies before collapsing from the Minotaur's poisoned wounds. Phaedra healed him, and Theseus, regretting his doubt in his mother's faith, acknowledged her truth. Phaedra comforted him, telling him that faith had led him to the bow, which would save Helen. Their attraction led to a night of love, during which Phaedra lost her gift of prophecy. The next day, Hyperion reached Mount Tartarus, facing Helen's wall. Theseus discovered that his sisters had been burned alive inside the metal ball. The monk and Theseus attacked the culprits but fell into a trap. The bow was stolen, but Ars intervened, killing the Heracleans, while Athena provided horses to reach Helen. Zeus, furious, killed Ars for breaking the laws but spared Athena. He urged Theseus to lead his people. At Helen, Theseus warned King Cassander of the threat posed by the bow, but the king, skeptical, preferred negotiation. Hyperion sent a messenger, himself in disguise, offering Theseus a place in his realm. Theseus refused. Phaedra, without her gift, stood by him. At dawn, Hyperion used the bow to pierce the wall, killing Helen's leaders. Theseus rallied the soldiers, inspiring them to become immortal in history. In the tunnel, he slaughtered Heracleans, but Hyperion killed Cassander. Theseus reached Hyperion at Tartarus just as he freed the Titans. Stavros, mortally wounded, tried to hold them back with the bow but was torn apart. Zeus, Athena, Poseidon, and Apollo descended to fight. Apollo and Athena fell, Poseidon resisted until Zeus destroyed the mountain, burying the Titans, saving Athena but leaving Poseidon behind. Theseus fought Hyperion, who gravely wounded him. In a final effort, Theseus killed Hyperion, but the mountain collapsed, sealing his fate. Zeus rescued him at the last moment. The tail of Theseus was carved in stone, his sacrifice earned him a divine soul and a son, Acamas. Years later, Acamas, gazing at a statue of his father, had a vision of a celestial war where Theseus fought. Zeus, again in the guise of the sage, told him that one day, he too would have to fight. Thus ended Immortals.